Just looking to see if I can use this impeller or fan blade off of a hairdryer on the gearbox or axle from this little radio controlled car. Now I think that the gearbox is reducing the speed far too much, because there's definitely not much air blowing out the back of that fan at the moment, but I'll put it in a tube or a duct and see if that improves anything. I'm going to make the duct out of some card. I'm going to cut 2 circles that are going to go around the outside of the duct to hold it in shape. In the kitchen, to give it a little test, I've already tested it and it's a complete failure. That fan just doesn't spin fast enough to drag air through the duct. It's just a very gentle breeze coming out the back. So if we're going to make this a ducted fan car, we're going to need to change that motor for something that spins a bit faster. Found another little electric motor, so I've stuck that hairdryer impeller blade on it. Not sure what this came from. Probably something like a beard trimmer or something like that. One of those cheap little items I get in the bargain store. You can see I've used it before, it's got hot glue on it. So we'll try that instead. That's the new motor in place. I'll put the front of the duct back on in a minute. I had to cut it off so I could get the old motor out. Still a fairly gentle breeze, but it's a bit better than the previous one. Try it again. Does half an inch count? We're not going anywhere, are we? I think we've got a problem now that those wheels don't move freely enough for the small amount of power that we've got. I might go and try my usual and put CDs on it. Oh, well, we move about 3 inches then. Steering doesn't do much with the big CDs as wheels. I suppose I could just try it with fresh batteries, see if that helps. Fresh batteries. Got some steering. Although it's not self-centering now because those wheels are too big. Okay. It moved a bit. It moved a bit. Let's give it a help. Well, fresh batteries helped a little bit. So, just converting a radio controlled car to ducted fan is not working for me. Basically, we're just not getting enough thrust from the motor. I tried it with the original toy car motor and that wasn't doing it, so I put a different motor in there that gives us a faster RPM, and it's still not doing it. I haven't got any spare hairdryer motors at the moment because they're all in my boats. That would be the ideal thing to use, although they need 9 to 12 volts and this is running off 3 AA batteries, so it's only got 4.5 volts in there when it's fully charged. So that would make a difference as well if we put more powerful battery in there, but I think that might blow up the little receiver. I suppose I could sacrifice one little receiver. In the interest of science, I put a 9 volt battery on there instead of the 3 AA batteries. My theory is it's the front wheels are not free enough because they're the original steering. They're not as free as the back wheels. I might just test that theory. Put a straight through axle on the front. Now we've done away with the steering. We've just got a drinking straw and barbecue skewer and a couple of CDs on the front. So the radio control does nothing now other than turn the motor on and off for the ducted fan. So we finally got some movement, but it just makes the whole thing a waste of time. Because the idea was to try and have a steerable ducted fan car. And I think the answer is if I'm going to do that, then I need a more powerful motor there. Because the one that was in the car wasn't strong enough. The one that I've put in there instead, which is still only a cheap motor from something like a lint remover or something like that, something I got from the pound store, that's still not good enough. It's a bit better than the one that was in the car simply because it's supposed to be running on a lower voltage, and so we're overpowering it and it's spinning its little heart out, but it's still not powerful enough to do the job and steer the car. So a fail, really. It doesn't go very straight either. Ah dear. Never mind, we've learnt something. If you're going to do ducted fan, you want a proper EDF motor really, because then you'll go much faster. That looks pretty though. Job done. Just a footnote, I did have a question from somebody, and I apologise, I forget who it was, as to whether you could put a 9 volt battery on one of these radio controlled cars. Well, it seems to have managed it. It hasn't burnt out yet, although we've only been trying it for a matter of minutes, but that receiver in there is expecting to get 3 AA batteries, so that's 4.5 volts, and what we've actually got is one 9-volt battery there supplying the power. So that's one question answered, I suppose. It's working at the moment.